All right, it is time to do our CSS battle. Let's start our stopwatch and see what we've got today. We've got some sort of an envelope thing. We are going to start by trying to go somewhat fast here. We're just going to style our HTML. And then the body. I'm going to keep it simple, margin 0 and position fixed. Then we're going to add some paragraph tags. Looks like I need, I don't know, 3. I don't know. We're going to start with 3. First one is going to be width 300, height 200. I should see it now. Oh, needs a background. Purple. There it is. Top 80, 100. Left 20, 30. Okay. It's too tall. That's okay. 190. 190. And width is going to be 340. There's that thing. Now we need another paragraph tag. That's going to be height 10, width of 300. Don't need pixels on that. I can use it, but I don't need it. It's going to be background of this color. There we start to see it. It's going to have a top of 130. It's going to have a left of 50. That's pretty close. Is it too wide or not wide enough? Too wide. So that means the left is going to be 60 and the width is going to be 280. That looks right. And then it's going to have box shadow 0, 50 pixels. Going to be that color again. 50 is not enough. It's going to be 70. There's that. Then we're going to have another paragraph selector. Going to say border radius 50%. Background is going to be the purple color again. There it is. Width is going to be, what is that? Height's 10. Yeah, it's not helpful. 60. Height 60. Shouldn't matter about shadow. Shadow 0, 0. Top is going to be something like 100. It's going to be less than that. It's going to be less than the other one. It's going to be 80, 70. And then left is going to be 180, 170. We should have a match there. That was 4 minutes. That's 4 minutes is kind of my goal. Usually that is a match. Okay. So if we weren't just being obvious, are there better ways to do this? Of course there are. What are those better ways is the question. So this is the code necessary, the way we did it to draw that circle. You have to have a border radius. You may get away without specifying a background depending on what order. If you don't use a position fixed, you can get away with just a height, but you need a width, so we can get rid of these two. Don't need box shadow. We do need to position it. We can do that more efficiently, probably using margin. if we don't have position fixed, but that means we're going to have something like margin. I don't know what the number is. 80, 160. And I'm using position fixed, so nothing works. That's okay. But we're going to have something like that number of characters just to draw that thing. How many characters? That's about 40 characters. Is it more or less expensive to do a little radio gradient for that? Don't know. Let's see. So let's do radio gradient. It's going to go from the purple color to the lighter color. It's going to get a 1Q keyword for the aspect ratio. That's going to be, I don't know, 30 pixels. And then that one shouldn't need a 0. I'm not seeing anything because of all the other stuff, so let's get rid of all the other stuff. There's my circle. We can move it up minus 80 pixels. That's the long way. 0. 80 is too much. 40. 50. There it is. Okay, so is that more or less characters? I don't know. We had to say background anyway. We have 78 characters right now. If we delete that, it's about 40 characters. It's a little more. It's a little more. Maybe a bad decision to do this. But that's kind of why we're here, is to make bad decisions. So that's okay. The box. The box. I mean, we can say outline 1Q, solid, margin. Top margin is going to be, I don't know what it is, 100. Yeah, that looks right. Sides are 30. Bottom's 10. There's that thing. It moves the gradient, though. Can we move the gradient outside of where we want it? Let's say 100. Yeah, we can, but we're going to get a repeat. Oh, that's because the background is applying to the body. So let's make that one 10. Nope, 95. Okay, and now we have our body that needs some sort of a background. That seems like a bad idea. Let's try something dumb. Let's do that, which is kind of the same as doing this, but let's move this up to something like that. It's not right. It's okay. And then this is X. So let's make that 10, 10, 1. Okay. Let's make this to 50. And then let's make this 100. And that's always going to be the wrong one, I think. Let's make it more, though. 60. 100. Now we're starting to get something. Let's make this 200. That's too much. 150. Starting to get close again. 200. That's too much. 100. 70. 60. 50. 40. It's getting wider, but it's also It's getting taller, which I want, but it's also getting wider as the aspect ratio comes down. So it needs to go back up. So that means this needs to be, can it be just 100%? It can. 50, 90, 200, 190, 80.5. That makes it go away to, okay. I don't think I'm going to get this to happen without some sort of a clip happening. I'm trying to reuse this circle as a line, which means I'm making the aspect ratio of the circle ridiculous. So right now the aspect ratio is 180 to 2. Sorry, my voice has decided not to work mid-video. But I don't see that happening without some sort of clipping happening. Or I'm just too dumb to do it. That's the case. Because, I mean, in theory, that should be, can this be 200%? Yeah, it can. That's interesting. I think that's still going to keep happening, though. But this is 300. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to keep happening unless I clip it somehow. So that's not going to work, I don't think. My other option was actually conic gradient. But I think that to get it to work correctly, it's going to repeat once. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to, let's try. Background, conic gradient. It's going to go from this color 75% to this color 0. Going to have a semicolon. There's the thing. It's going to be at, I don't remember the number, 200 pixels, 10 pixels. And then we're going to move it down. Going to move it over first. It's not wide enough, but that's okay. 30 pixels. So it's 280. Looks right. And then down 30 pixels. And then we need to get it to repeat. This can be 1Q. Is it going to repeat all the time? Yeah, it's going to repeat all the time. So it's going to be like 300, 400. That's the same as the viewport. Actually, 400 pixels is the viewport. And then 100, 80, 70. Yeah. So if we do repeat, it's going to repeat one more time that we don't need. And that was my fear with this solution. So that's not a good idea. Another thing that we can try that I don't have much confidence in because I usually fail at it is box shadow inset. Let's start with 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 0, 30 pixels. Let's see what we have. We have this thing. So that one can be 0. And can we do another one? Where's that lining up? Lining up. Okay, so we need that. Oh, and we still have a bunch of paragraphs. That. And Yeah. Um, how's that gonna work? Can it work? Yeah, same thing. It needs to briefly not cover, so I need three of them. Yeah, I'm gonna need three of them, I think. So I think I'm gonna need, let's paste another one in here, comma. This one's going to be that color, 20. Not 10. And then this one's 20. Kinda. Actually, I think that can be that. Then this needs to go back to 30. And this needs to go back to 30. Okay. So we have the right thing in the wrong place. Or one of the right things in the wrong place. It's too far down. 0. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. But this is stupid long. Now, 70. And then again. Whoops. Was no longer in my clipboard. And then 80. And then another one. And then this one needs to be, nope. Yeah, that was right. 90. That seems weird. Oh, because this is wrong. Yeah, this should still be 30. This should be 80. Then this one can be like 120, 30. So that's a solution, but it's a terrible one. And yes, can it be shortened? Well, it's not a match either. Oh, because I have an outline somewhere. There it is. Okay, that's a terrible solution. Yes, everywhere that 0 pixels can just be 0, but that's still just horrible. Um, I wonder if I can do the opposite though. So instead of all this garbage, whoops, instead of all this garbage, and we can put that back to ampersand so we just see the circle. All right, here's a bad idea. Border block 10 pixels solid this color. Let's put an outline on it. There's the thing. Uh, let's go ahead and make the background purple for now. That's going to change, I think. Okay, we see what we created there. Now we have to make some better margin decisions. So the top margin is going to be more like 130. I think the aspect ratio may be wrong to do this, but you know, you don't know until you try. 50, 60, and then the bottom's going to be 80, 70, 80. Maybe that's right. Okay. Yeah, I think the margins are going to be wrong, but or the aspect ratio is going to be wrong to make this bigger. But let's try. Box shadow. It's going to be. Let's start with 0, 0, 0, 30 pixels. That's not as bad as I thought, but I need to pause because a visitor is coming. All right, sorry. Where was I? I was at box shadow. And I was doing something with box shadows. Let's do color, this color, and then we can do it again. 0, 50 pixels, 0, 30 pixels. 50 is too much. 40. Still have an outline. And the circle's in the wrong spot. That's getting close. It's not quite right. 70, 60. There we go. And then this needs to be 50. There's finding a match. Can we do that? Kinda. We need now this number to become big. So 30 pixels in M 1.8, 1.875 technically. Can we do LH easier? No, not really. Okay. And then here we can say font 200%. Nope. 5. Can we do something cheaper, like 5-inch? And then move that down. But actually do put a semicolon there. Sometimes we can get away with 32Q on 30 pixels. Sometimes we can't. Usually we can get away with 10Q, but maybe not. 53Q may work. Nope, not happy about something there. Maybe it's that one. Nope, must not be that one. Must have been that one. Let's see if that one's happy, and then maybe we can put this one back. Yeah, that one's okay. Don't love this solution. There will be solutions much better than this one. No, that's what I have today. Uh, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.